what's the most important aspect of card stacking for you?
Well, I like to be creative. I have to say the neat thing for me is that even though I already think that I know everything there is to know about what I do, every time I get asked to do something, I almost always learn something on every single project. And it's usually because I get into a position in the building where I kind of have that, oh, now what moment. And I have to just kind of like work my way out of it. And when I do, it's always when I discover some new way of doing something. Sometimes it's something so small and quite frankly so stupid that no one would even hardly know what I was talking about if I showed them.
Yeah.
But it almost always has a pretty profound effect on what is possible on later projects. And so every time you're kind of moving forward a little bit with the kind of state of knowledge that I have, and the total nerd in me likes that because it allows me to keep kind of raising my own bar.
But that's true of all creative processes. Again, it's staying in love with what you do, and it's because every time you do it, you're learning something. Mm-hmm. You're learning something new. That's the only way you can love what you do anyway, isn't it?
And it surprises me even still because I always think, well, there can't be anything else, and then I come across something, and I have to say that when I look back at even 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, how much more I can do, how much faster I can do it, and how much easier. When I look back at more of a distance, then I see the effects of those little discoveries. But from one project to the next, I don't really think about them so much. It just takes time.
And you've won yourself a few world records, Guinness World Records. Do you just continue beating your own world record? How does this work?
Well, I do, but it doesn't happen every day. I hold the Guinness World Record for the tallest house of cards, which is almost 26 feet tall. And I hold the Guinness World Record for the world's largest house of cards, which involves about 4,000 decks.
Wow.
And those records are something that's been a big part of my life. The tallest house of cards since 1992, largest house of cards since 2004.
Yeah.
So one has been 20 years, one has been soon 10 years. And it's seldom that I get a chance to break it because it takes so much time, a really tall ceiling for the really tall one. And when I do that, it's kind of, it takes me back to the first time I did it because I remember that being such a special experience, for the first time. And now when I do it, I don't really get freaked out until I get to the very end. I can't help it. No matter how many times I've done it, I still get a little nervous. And I'm still waiting for a chance to build something like really insanely tall, like twice or 4 times taller than I've ever built.
I was going to say, do you not just get quite sort of lonely doing this? And also, I was watching you do it earlier, does your back not hurt?
Well, okay. First of all, loneliness. I don't work that many hours a day unless I get on a really huge deadline. I a lot of times have my music going, and the hours really click away when I'm in the zone. I do it because I like to do it, so it's no different than someone who's a golfer, a card player, a piano player, whatever that is. So there's that. And as far as my aching joints, I think I've done it enough and long enough that there's certain ways in which I stand, sit, kneel, whatever, that really don't hurt that much because it's kind of like someone that does yoga. Over time, they get to where they can do things to their body that they couldn't do before. So for me, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sit cross-legged for 4 hours without moving, but can I? Yes. And do I? Yes. Do I enjoy it? No. Because when I get up, I think maybe it's because I'm getting a little older, I can't quite do it for quite as long. And when I get up, I'm just like walking around like a tin man for a while. But it's part of the job, and I try to kind of like move around a little bit. I'll actually get up and stretch a little bit just to kind of keep my limbs alive.
Blood flowing.
Right,
It's a good thing.